y'all. Side by side, at DC.gov. Side by side, .band at DC.gov. If y'all want us to come to y'all school, I promise you, y'all, we'll set the dates going out. Have a good time with your babies, you know what I mean?
Feel it's on safely, so I won't go shooting.
Educator, staff, and guests, I am Kara Fuller, the proud principal of Phelps A's High School. Our claim to fame is being the first public high school to offer dedicated college prep, career, and technical education in the design and construction trades. So can we give it up for our side-by-side band? Good job, guys. I want to take an opportunity at the podium to acknowledge my fellow school principals in the struggle. Principal Dix of Brown Education Campus, and Principal Brunson of J.O. Wilson Elementary School. I see y'all. Sharing one big campus on the hill, we and our amazing staff have a special bond that has strengthened over the last year. I'm glad we're all here together. I want to also recognize Mayor Bowser and our city's education leaders for their commitment to making academic success, well-being, and safety of our school community a priority. Thank you for kicking off pre-service week. Now I'll hand the mic over to a fellow educator from our cluster who, if you can believe it, was once a student of Principal Dix. She now works at Brown and is a shining example of a DCPS school education. Let's please applaud Ms. Paris Wilton for coming back to serve our city.
Good morning, good morning. I love the energy. Again, my name is Paris Wilton, and as Principal Fuller said, DC Public Schools was and still is my community. I'm a 2018 graduate of Eastern Senior High School, go Ramblers. And now I teach math and science at Brown Education Campus. At Brown, we have a motto: ignite, engage, and achieve. We empower our students to embrace struggle in order to achieve academic excellence and shape a better future for their local community and world. We can't embody this motto as educators without the support of our local leaders. From engaging school communities to dedicating funding and resources to schools, or even just coming to events like these to show how much they stand with us. We're fortunate to be a part of a school district and city that helps us overcome the challenges we face. These efforts are led by a mayor who puts investment behind her care for our city's youth. Please give a warm welcome for Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you so much. Well, hello, everybody. And I know I speak for all of us when I say Monday is my favorite day of the year. Back to school. And this may be my second favorite day of the year when I get to come and thank educators, teachers, staff, school leadership. Thank you for choosing one of the best professions in the history of the world. Being a teacher, being an educator, being a shaper of young people. Thank you. And thank you for choosing DC Public Schools, the best public school system in America. I get to say frequently that we have the best prepared workforce anywhere. And I know it is because of your care and your love for children that you want to challenge them every day and you want to love them every day. And I know it's because of the people who live in Washington, D.C. and pay taxes in Washington, D.C. that they allow us to make public education the #1 thing that we do in this city. It is why that over the past 15 years, we have demonstrated that we are the fastest improving urban school district in this nation. That is why when when the deputy mayor talks about the CAPE scores tomorrow, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. And that is why we are here today to celebrate another great start to the school year. So Principal Fuller, thank you. Where did she go? There's Principal Fuller. Thank you for your leadership. To all of the faculty here at Phelps. Where is Phelps faculty? I see you. To all the staff and support staff here at Phelps. The building looks good. The building looks good. Give them a round of applause for all of the staff here at Phelps. And we have a visitor on the hill right here, and J.O. Wilson. Thank you, J.O. Wilson. Thank you, J.O. Wilson, and all the families, while their school is getting redone, they're here, and we're making everybody feel good and welcome, and just loving on the young people who are in a different setting. Thank you for doing that. And I have a long history with Brown Education Campus. I came to Brown many years ago, when I think I was still on the council or moving in, and I said then, it's not enough kids here at Brown. This building is too big for the number of kids we have here. We got to turn it around here at Brown. And since that time, the turnaround of Brown Education Campus has been nothing short of miraculous. It was because leadership said, no, you're not going to give up on us here at Brown, and you're going to put the money in Brown that has been missing for too long. So now when we come to your school, families are back. People vote with their feet. Families are back. The building is beautiful. The teachers are challenging and loving kids. And we are building an incredibly strong feeder, including Brown Education Campus. So I couldn't be prouder of the work that you're doing. So I also wanted to be here, and there are many talents at MPD, including the side-by-side band. So give it up for our own Go-Go. There are many talents at MPD, including our amazing Chief of Police, Pamela Smith. Thank you for being supportive. And our public education team in DC, I put them up against anybody, and I want to acknowledge your leader, your boss, who every week he tells me how we're doing with recruiting teachers. We're doing better than we ever have. How we're doing with retaining the best of the best. How we're making sure that you got an amazing contract this year for 5 years with us. Thank you. How we're making sure we're recruiting the support staff that we need. And that's what we're doing, including school psychologists and other supports for your buildings. And we continue to work on that. How we're transitioning with our school nurse program, and we're feeling pretty good about that as well. So I, again, just want to say thank you. I'm looking forward to another fantastic year. Our whole team is going to talk to you about, and we have an opportunity to talk to parents directly today about some things we want our young people to focus on. Now, this is not the same time, is it, that we experienced an opening school last year. But I want everybody to know whose job politics is in this room. Whose job is it? It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. I'm the only one. It's not yours. All right? Your job is to love on the kids, teach them, and make sure that they are prepared, and to trust that I'm going to do the right thing for all of us. And so it is also our job to make sure they have joy when they approach this school year. And one thing that I'm going to ask parents, grandparents, neighbors, and friends of Washington, D.C. to do is clap our kids into school on Monday. Are you going to be with me? Will you help me clap our kids into school? We want to clap on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're going to clap them in. Because in this city, every day counts. Kids can't miss a day because they miss too much learning. They miss too much of this goodness that we've invested in these schools. It won't make a bit of difference for us to have new buildings, great teachers, and great curriculum if they're not at school. So we're going to get a great start to the school year. And I want to thank Chancellor Farabee, as I have done. I also want to recognize Dr. Antoinette Mitchell, who is the superintendent for OSSI. Please give Dr. Mitchell a big round of applause. I want to acknowledge Deputy Mayor Paul Kine, a Deputy Mayor for Education. Please give Paul a big round of applause. I want to recognize Thenie Freeman, who is the Director of DPR. She likes to say she picks up when Chancellor Farabee's school day ends, and it's true. Our colleagues in the public charter sector are also welcoming a great number of kids. but the fastest growth has been right here in DC Public Schools. So thank you for that. So now I have the honor of acknowledging a J.O. Wilson teacher and welcoming Sharita Wright to the podium.
Hey, J.O. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sharita Wright, and I am a math instructional coach at the J.O. Wilson Elementary School. At J.O. Wilson, our cardinals soar to success every day and in every way. Our scholars work hard, and our staff works hard to help them realize their potential. J.O. Wilson is currently undergoing a massive modernization process, and while we have a little while to go before everything is complete, it is so exciting to pass by and see the district's education investments being built from the ground up. I know our students will only benefit from the district's continued support of our schools. I now want to invite a district leader who continues to stand by this commitment to pour into school communities across DCPS. Please welcome up to the mic our Chancellor, Dr. Louis D. Farabee.
Thank you, Ms. Wright, for that introduction. It's pre-service week. I'm excited to be here with my fellow members of the DC Public Schools family. We had side-by-side today. Fun fact about side-by-side, many of them who introduced themselves last week are members of graduating classes of DC Public Schools and graduates themselves. That's why they sound so good. They got the DC Public Schools flavor, but I'm honored to be with you. Since the mayor teed up, CAPE results are coming out tomorrow. I can't say enough about the work that you've done. And just know that I'm honored to be on this journey with you. And we are really thrilled about what you've been able to do for young people in our school communities. So again, congratulations to you all. Now, I'm excited today because I also am surrounded not by one, not by two, but 3 DC public schools in one building, right? Right? We got 3 DC public schools that out of here. So since this is a pre-service week pep rally, I just got to make sure we recognize again who's in the building. And so if you are next door at the phenomenal Brown Education Campus, make some noise again. Yes. Now, as the mayor said, when I started, Brown Education Campus did not have the enrollment that it has today. It was because of the work of this team and your principal, Principal Dix, has the best shoe game at principals in DC Public Schools, so excited about her leadership. Last year, Mayor Bowser and I had opportunity to visit Brown Education Campus in a new facility as we launched District Dribble, where we gave every elementary age student across the district basketballs. But just know we're thrilled about the great things that are happening at Brown Education Campus. So thank you all for being here today. And then the next school represented are supporting the J.O. Wilson Cardinals, the scholars at J.O. Wilson. Let's give it up for J.O. So, some of you may not know, but last December, with the help of the DC Education Fund, we presented Principal Brunson and the J.O. Wilson School community the annual School Improvement Standing Ovation Award. It is a testament to the hard work of the team. And fun fact about Principal Brunson, we go back to undergrad together at North Carolina Central University. I'm proud of you, my guy. I'm proud of you, sir. I knew you had it in you. And last but never least, We're at the home of the Panthers. Let's hear it up for Phelps. Architecture, construction, engineering, high school. So last year again, Superintendent Mitchell and I visited Phelps in October, and we were blown away by the innovation happening in the classroom and what our scholars have been able to accomplish. I'm so proud of Principal Fuller, who continues to innovate herself. My understanding, we're inviting students across the district this year to tap into the great opportunities here at Phelps. So I'm grateful for your service in the Phelps community. Again, let's give yourselves a round of applause. So it seems like just yesterday when Principal Brunson and I were graduating, we're starting our first year as teachers, and I remember I didn't have a pre-service week like this, right? I didn't have Amazon supply cards to buy supplies for my classroom. You hear me? Spend your money well. But it was an opportunity for me to get ready, bulletin boards, all the decor, and I remember when it came to the first day of class, I was not as serious as I needed to be about decorating my classroom. So I'm teaching fourth grade, elementary school. Fast forward to the first day, my fourth graders come in and I realize I have messed up because they were embarrassed to be in my class. And we spent the entire first day of school getting my door decorated the correct way, ensuring that my class was in order. And so what I learned from that experience is to be prepared, but also to lean on my colleagues. And that is why we brought you here today, is to tap into the network that we are in DC Public Schools. And so whether you're with your school community now or you'll be with others later, we want to make sure that you find someone to connect with, because we are a powerful force together as a school community. So with all seriousness, I know last year we had some challenges as a part of this school community. But I want you to know that you have a powerful network in government, city leadership, in DC Public Schools. That's why we're here today. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, for your leadership, the many investments. Let's give it up for our mayor. Now, you heard her. Education on the Hill. You know what your job is, right? And we're going to do our job well. But as you start the school year, we want you to know that we're here because we're excited about what you've been able to accomplish. But we want to encourage you. We want to affirm you. We want to ensure that we're behind you as you take your next step as we enter the 2025-2026 school year next week. Again, know that we see your dedication. We know that you're focused on the well-being of our young people. We also want you to be assured that Chief Smith in the Metropolitan Police Department is here and devoted to service as well. And I know Chief Smith is very busy right now, but I want to acknowledge her again for being here today. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. Thank you for what your team does for our school communities is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Director Freeman, you've done well this summer. Thank you for the work that DPR has done. And we look forward to receiving our students back on Monday. Everyone, let's have a phenomenal school year. I shared with principals earlier this week, what we've been able to accomplish last year is just a glimpse of what we're capable of. I can't wait to see all the great things that we're going to go do this school year. Be great. Thank you all. Thank you.
So I want to introduce the Deputy Mayor. I think he has some great things to share.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chancellor. As a former 10-year teacher, I cannot help myself. Now it's the time for the pop quiz. Who are the most important people in our public school system? Who are they? Who are the most important adults in our public school system? You are. You are the most important. It's not us, it's you. And that's why we're thrilled to be here. Tomorrow, you will hear some good news about the results of our student learning last year. You will hear some good news. That news will take the form of some numbers, some numbers that you will be proud of. But what's crazy about the numbers is they are absolutely irrelevant compared to the interactions that you have every single day in your classrooms with individual students. And so my hope for tomorrow, for next week, is that when you walk around your school and you walk around the city and you walk around your building, people thank you. They thank you for the work that you've done to make sure that our students are learning more and more every year. To kick off the thank you, I am actually going to now engage in a little interactive activity so that we can honor some of you. And with that, and with apologies, I'd like to ask all of you to stand up, please. So we'll make this very easy. If this is your first year as a teacher or a staff member in any of these buildings, please sit down. We love you, but please sit down. First year. If you've been working in your buildings for 5 years or less, please sit down. We love you. Oh, as an educator or staff member in the system. Yes. Thank you for the clarification. Can I please have those who have been working as an educator or staff member in the system for 10 years or less sit down, please? We also love you, but you need to sit down. Can I have 15 years or less? Please sit down. Wow, you are a long-standing group. Can I have 20 years or less, please? Please sit down. Wow. Okay, now we applaud. All right, now the island is getting smaller. 25 years or less, please sit down. 25 years or less. Let's keep going. Let's see how we do. 30 years or less, please sit down. I'm going to test our luck. I'm going to test our luck. 35 years or less, please sit down. 36 years or less, please sit down. All right, my friends, I think we have arrived at the end of our island. Can I have all of you please come up and... Here's a little, thank you, thank you. Here we are for you and for you. Now, can you please each just step forward? Can you step forward and give us your names and the school that you're at, please? Step forward.
My name is Colleen Coker, and I'm at J.O. Wilson.
Good morning. My name is Janet Ship, and I'm at J.L. Wilson Elementary School.
Good morning. My name is Elise McCann, and I'm at Brown Education Campus.
How you doing? My name is Mark Culler, and I'm at Phelps.
All right, congratulations. And you too, all of the first years who sat down first, we want to see you in 37 years.
38 years. Thank you, Deputy Mayor, for that. I think we can welcome the side-by-side band back to the stage. We're going to take some photos. I'll go next door and answer some questions. But thank you, everybody. Have a great school year.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.
Seven, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You good? Good? Cool.
Today we're at Phelps, and it is our Architecture, Engineering, and Construction High School in Washington, D.C. I'm celebrating with education officials,
in-service week, pre-service week, which is when all of our teachers are getting various supports. They reported to school on Monday, and our kids start school on the coming Monday, August 25th. So I'm happy to answer a few questions. Yes.
If you and could respond to this, could you respond to the Justice Department investigation into whether the Metropolitan Police Department allegedly manipulated crime stat data?
I'm happy to respond, and I'll just say this. Whatever questions were asked or inquiry, we will respond, and we will cooperate with any investigation. We know that crime has gone down in our city, and it has gone down precipitously over the last 2 years because of a lot of hard work, changes to our public safety ecosystem, including changes to the law. And we know that those facts don't comport to what some people are saying, but those are the facts. So any questions about data from DOJ, we will happily answer. Yep.
A follow-up to that question. In regards to the allegations, there also, or people against your office and what's being done are talking about the fact that in May, you also did have a commander who was placed on administrative leave on similar suspicions. That was done in May. Can you update us on that investigation? And I'll ask another question after that.
I don't really have an update to that investigation, but I will say that was an investigation initiated by the chief, and I'm not sure if it's concluded, but I'll ask the chief to talk about that.
So I'll start by saying that it was an investigation that was initiated by me, and I'll close by saying we have not yet completely finalized the investigation. As most of you know, we don't talk about open investigations until it's complete.
So the suspicion of, thank you, Mayor. The suspicion of manipulating numbers is not new. In 2018, Fox 5 also reported on similar accusation, going through several FOIA requests and a lot of data as well. My question to you is, what's the plan here? How do you show the federal government that you're on tap and on top of and able to respond to what's going on?
I think we can respond pretty simply. I'm not sure yet what questions we've gotten, so I'll just leave it as saying that we will cooperate and answer their questions. You were next, I think. Yep.
Any reaction to the Attorney General tweeted out this morning that the U.S. Marshal Service is now offering $500 to anyone who gives information that leads to an arrest in the district? Do you have any reaction to that?
I don't have a reaction. We have a rewards program here for information that leads to prosecutions in certain crimes, and we have a very active program, and that has worked.
Do you think that they're putting resources in the right places in the city?
I think that is something that we evaluate daily. Yep.
Arthur Jones, the second with ABC News. Do you worry about students' attendance on Monday with the president's federal takeover? And also, let
me stop you there. There has been no takeover.
The president's surge and crackdown.
Okay, so with the federal surge in the city, part of what we just talked to educators about, we're in a campus on this hill where 3 schools attend. So we had, probably a little over 100 teachers represented today. And what I want to be clear to all of them about is our children deserve and will get a joyful start to their school year. So all the adults in our building, all of the people in our government are focused on making sure that happens. I'm also asking DC residents, whether they have kids in school or not. This is a tradition that we have for many years, but I think it would be great if DC residents line corridors and clap. We call it clap the kids into school. So tell them that we're with them. We want them to have a great school year. And we're all going to be standing shoulder to shoulder with them.
As Metropolitan Police Department, worked with the federal agencies, any communication there to help kids get to school and high
We don't
crime
need
areas?
federal agencies to help get kids to school. So we have many programs, including a Kids Ride Free program where all of our children have a free pass to ride free back and forth to school in their school activities. We have a program called Safe Passage where we have non-law enforcement officials that line various school routes. They will all have on a jacket that identifies them as part of DC government, one of our violence interruption programs. We have another program called School Connect, where families can let us know if there are particular circumstances that they're concerned about with their neighborhood, where they can get a ride to school. So we will take care of getting our kids to school. Yeah, I'm not going to come back to you right now because other questions are out there. Yeah.
Mayor, but follow up, I mean, there are checkpoints happening across the city with the federal partners. There's also people that are getting stopped 24/7 with immigration enforcement. I think it's just a follow-up of how do you address those concerns that a parent who is dropping their kid off might be detained by immigration officials?
I think people who have that concern for themselves personally and for all of us who are concerned for them in their safety are making adjustments. Yep.
Madam Mayor and administration, I have 3 questions. First question, what latitude do teachers have to explore the political, social, and historic context of the situation in the classroom? Second question, what safeguards are in place to prevent an overzealous response to physical altercations on school grounds, given what we see currently with the federal infringement? And finally, we're going to take it to Ward 4. How is MPD preventing Officer Sutton and Lieutenant Zabaski and others who have been penalized in the past from repeating what they have done in terms of just their negative interactions with residents?
Okay, your first question, I'm sorry.
My first question is in regards to teachers. So what latitude do they have?
Oh, yeah. So one thing I just emphasized to teachers that there's only one person in DC government authorized to do politics, and that's me. And teaching, however, they have the same latitude to instruct as they always have.
But as far as the curriculum, can someone speak to that?
There's no change to their curriculum.
But what is in place for them to talk about this in the current context, historically?
Let me ask the Chancellor how the public schools approach this.
Yeah, thank you, Sam, for that question. So no changes to our curriculum, the same expectations that we've had previously. We have actually a new curriculum for math this year for our elementary age students. Teachers do incorporate current events in some courses. They still have the latitude to do that, but we expect teachers to adhere to our curriculum as written.
And as far as the physical altercations on campus, I've done reporting in the past. Students have complained about altercations on this campus. We wrote about BARD as well. What guarantee, or I guess what safeguards are in place to prevent an overzealous response from local forces as well as federal in response to students fighting on campus?
Yeah, so our staff is trained to intervene if there are any altercations on campus. We don't expect that. The educators, school administrators have been working hard over the summer to create an environment that is welcoming. And we equip students with tools to deal with issues as they come up. We've had a big emphasis on, for example, restorative justice strategies that have been proven to be effective. And if you look at violent acts among students in schools, and DCPS specifically, we've seen a decline in those events that are happening on our campuses. So we anticipate the response from administrators will be the same, and they'll be prepared for day one on Monday.
And in regards to the 2 officers that were pardoned, just very curious about their status, very curious, and this is my final question, of course, but for the time being.
So at their status, one is no longer a member of the Metropolitan Police Department, and as I've stated before, the other member of our police department is in a right now he's going through the appropriate training.
So which one's no longer a member, if you don't
The
mind?
lieutenant. Yep.
Thank you. I have a few questions. I'll try to get through them
Okay.
efficiently. First, for you, Mayor Bowser, and for you, Chief Smith. You were at 7D last night with Terry Cole and with Stephen Miller. What did you all discuss amongst each other and also with the officers there at 7D?
Well, I will say, and I won't be very specific about our discussion with the officers, but we did a lot of listening about concerns that they have about policing and making sure that they have the tools that they need to do their job. We listened to concerns that they have about the areas that they're policing and other feedback. And we listened to them about other ways that I can support them as their big boss. I think the chief would say similar. With regard to a short pull aside that we had with the federal officials, I would just say that we discussed shared priorities.
Just a couple more on immigration enforcement in the police department. We're hearing a bit that officers are looking for more guidance on how to be interacting with or in the same space when they are with ICE. And I want to bring up a specific example so we can, to be specific here. I think one of the concerns we're hearing is that perhaps, routine moped enforcement that MPD has been focused on, like unregistered mopeds, things like that. Normally, before this federal surge and ICE agents accompanying MPD officers in certain spaces, that would have been that traffic violation or whatever it was, and then immigration enforcement would not be part of, MPD officers doing that job. Now, how do you respond to the concern that those kinds of stops could be a pretext then for immigration enforcement and any officers' concerns about sort of how to behave and how to do that enforcement if they feel uncomfortable that it's inviting ICE?
I think that we are exploring any additional guidance that our officers need. We do know that the question was posed to the courts that hasn't ruled on that claim, and we continue to look for any final legal statement. We do know that the presidential executive order and subsequent orders address these issues, and we will always have resource constraints with MPD, and we want to make sure that our enforcement is focused on violence and violent offenders.
One follow-up there. Mayor Bowser, we reported that you weren't aware of Chief Smith's executive order last week adjusting some of the guidance on immigration enforcement. What was your reaction when you saw that guidance? And Chief Smith, can you give some insight into what led you to issue that new order? What led to your decision to do that?
Sure. I'll turn to the chief in a moment. And it's not unusual that the chief has the authority to amend orders that she thinks are necessary. And I think her guidance from her legal department was that she was trying to give some more direction to the officers. So I think that's what led to it. But I think the bottom line for me is that what is governing here is likely the presidential executive order.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
For the chief, the city went to court last week to make sure that you stay in control of the police department. I'm curious about your federal partners. Do you have any coordination with them at this point, as into moving resources from the FBI, from any of those federal partners that are in the city right now, and the surge that's come in? Do you have any control over where they're going, or are you only directing resources of MPD at this point?
Thank you. Paul, thank you for that question. So I think I want to, if you don't mind, allow me to take a step back. The federal partners came in on Thursday before last. I met with them this Sunday just to talk about a strategy and a way where we can make sure that resources are placed around our city. Number one, because we look at our data and our intelligence, and it drives where we see violent crime happening across our city. But we also have heard from many of you here in this room, as well as community members, about different patterns of crime in certain areas. And so what we wanted to do was to be collaborative in this approach, because it was an executive order. And so we have met with our federal partners. We've given them different areas across the city where we would like to see resources allocated. And to date, I will tell you, it's been a cohesive process. We speak every single day. I mean, things do happen in our city. Let's not be kind of oblivious to the fact that things do not happen. They do. But I have a responsibility to make sure that even if we didn't have a federal surge, that I have resources placed around the city. And again, my role right now is to ensure that I continue to drive down crime. We have the resources here, and we're going to utilize them to the best of our ability.
If I could follow up with two other things. Terry Cole we've been told that he's, whatever his position is, Are you in constant contact with him, and is he suggesting ways that you police the city?
My relationship with Terry has been very, very congenial. It's been very collaborative. He has actually asked me about different ways in which we can collaborate and have resources around the city. It is not contentious at all. I met with him yesterday. I met with him the day before. So we look forward to working with our partners in this space during this federal surge.
And then the last question I had is on the investigation we're hearing that the U.S. Attorney's Office is going to conduct into crime stats. Have you been contacted by the DOJ, and are you aware of any subpoenas that have been issued?
I have not been contacted, but I am aware that there may be or will be subpoenas issued. I don't know to whom, but that's all I know at this point. Yes, sir.
Chief Smith, just two quick questions. One, since the surge, thank you, are the federal law enforcement officers making arrests that are non-immigration, non-federal arrests?
Yes.
Yes. So not in the presence of the MPD?
I would assume yes.
They're making presence without MPD presence.
Mm-hmm.
And two, is the MPD making arrests in the last 2 weeks that they would not have otherwise been making had this new environment we're in this federal surge hadn't been happening? To make arrests that they otherwise would not have been making?
I don't think so.
No, I don't know. I mean, our officers are very well versed on DC law and DC code. With respect to this surge, let me say this also. We work with our federal partners all the time. We have a capital area regional task force where we have marshals, ATF, DEA, MPD embedded in those spaces. Our violent crime suppression division, same thing. We have federal officers engaged in executing search warrants around our city on a regular basis. This isn't anything new. I think what the difference is that there's just an enhanced presence. So the same types of arrests, the same types of contact, the same types Operation Rad Rights, the operations that we continue to do on a daily basis, the new initiatives that we launched when I first came in here, we just have an enhanced presence in that space. And again, our goal is to ensure that we drive down crime while our partners are here, and we will continue to do that.
Okay, I'm going to take a few more here. 1, 2, and I'm sorry if we could just keep them to like one question, not 5 questions.
Okay, can I get 2? I just
okay.
Had a quick, for the chief, I know we've been asking all week, and we're told that you had been talking to federal partners about the agents having masks on. Have you gotten any clarity or direction about what they can and can't do?
Well, what I'll say is this, I've spent 20-something years on the federal side, and the concern is from some of our federal partners with the mask. I have not gotten clarity on it. Let me be clear about that. It's under DHS, if I'm not mistaken. But for certain type of backcountry, if you will, or different types of events or marijuana eradication, some of our federal partners do have the ability to kind of cover their faces, and it's really about making sure that there are no threats coming to them once they've cleared the area. And so in this particular case, I have no clear guidance on the why and the how come, but I can only put on my federal hat from back in the day to say that I think that's what's happening.
So let me just add to that. We believe in our environment, an urban environment, that there's no reason for any official to wear a mask. We believe that it's not a law enforcement or just people that are in the umbrella of the Justice Department. You don't see them doing that. I think this is a good question for the Congress to prohibit law enforcement agencies that are going to be working in an urban environment from wearing masks.
And just lastly for
okay.
So I know we've been seeing videos. Sorry, I can't see it, Chief. For example, last night, members in Columbia Heights kind of heckling and yelling for federal agents and ICE to leave the area. We've seen that in other spots. So I'm just wondering if you have any concerns about how this is going to affect community relations that MPD is building with its community members, all of this.
And so I've had conversations specifically with our federal partners with regards to that. We've come a long way in establishing positive relationships with our community. And what I want to be able to do is to ensure our community that we are working with our federal partners in that space. We do a lot of community engagement with our federal partners. This isn't new. So we want to try to see how we can enhance that and build upon that. What we don't want is for community members to interfere and get involved in things that is a police-related matter.
Yep, your turn.
This is thank you, Mayor. Josh Chapin from Channel 7. You had said the other day about the need for 500 more officers on the street. What are you doing at this point to sort of set the table for that? And in the interim, you've talked about this a little bit, but can the feds help? You have all these sort of trained law enforcement professionals, but maybe the...
Uh-oh, I hope that's not one of you. No, I have a DC tag. Yes, so how can we tap into a federal surge is the way that we're thinking about it, and under what conditions would we want to tap into a federal surge? So we're answering those questions within.
500 more officers, what do you set the table?
Well, I think that we want to be known as the place where everybody wants to work. There are some policy concerns among our current officers about the policing environment in the city. And we know that's going to require some changes to the law. So those are conversations I will have with members of the council, with police representatives as well. Yep.
Rebecca with 7 News.
Yep.
Thank you, Daniel. A quick question, if I could, to the school leaders. We have back to school starting next week. And with the surge in town, do you think having more of these federal agents out and about, could that make it safer for back to school? Could that complement safe passage?
As I already answered the question about our preparation for our kids, and we feel strongly that we're very prepared.
And if we can ask to, if the chief or if the mayor, the White House is saying there have been more than 400 arrests since the surge here. Do we know what percentage are MPD, and do we know how many of those MPD arrests have to do with immigration enforcement?
So, we've been talking about this quite a lot because we have ways that we introduce MPD data on weekly or monthly basis. And I think we're likely to stick with the way that we have been reporting. And I can't tell you exactly what they report or how they report or coordinate their number. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to stick to how we report data and get it out more frequently.
Has the federal presence helped MPD, or has it made things a little bit more challenging?
So it's twofold, right? I hear from the officers on the street. Some of them have found it to be very helpful. Some people in community have found it to be very helpful. I think that the intent, what people have to understand is that with an additional 500 more officers, you're going to have more arrests. You're going to have more traffic stops and those types of things. So we have to anticipate that because we have an influx of police presence.
If I can quick message from school leaders with back to school, what's your message to parents in light of everything happening?
It's business as usual. We have prepared for this moment. We're ready to receive students. Our teachers, our educators, staff school leaders been working hard this week in our pre-service week. You saw that earlier today. The energy in the room was very positive. That's going to carry into the first day and how we welcome our students back to campuses. You heard from the mayor. We're asking the community to clap in our students on the first day. I think surrounding our students in this first day of school is a great strategy. Hopefully, the week, but we want our students to know that the schoolhouse continues to be the safest place for our young people, and we'll continue to hold it high.
Okay. And whoever hasn't asked the question, okay, you got your question, and you'll have the last.
Thank you, Mayor. Matt Brown, Associated Press. The fire department said this morning that a person had to be extricated from a vehicle after a crash with a military vehicle of some sort. First, who is responsible for this, and have you spoken with the administration about this situation?
I actually haven't gotten a readout on that collision yet, other than I know we had a person, I believe one person transported for medical attention, so I can't really say more.
And then how has your relationship with the administration changed since the beginning of this federal crackdown, shall we say? Are you planning on being more conciliatory, more adversarial with President Trump and other federal officials?
My plan is to represent the district and to do what is, my plan is to represent the district and navigate us out of this emergency, the president's emergency. Yep.
Thank you, Mayor. Andrew Espitalia with News Nation. Vice President J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth are about to speak at Union Station thanking the National Guard troops. Do you think placing the troops at major transit hubs or monuments is the most strategic deployment instead of, say, high crime areas?
I don't think the National Guard should be used for law enforcement. And I think calling men and women from their homes and their jobs and their families, they have to be used on their, on mission-specific items that benefit the nation. I don't think you have an armed militia in the nation's capital. All right. I've done one complete round, and I'm going to have to wrap up. Yes, school.
School related. First time that we're going back to school with the cell phone ban fully in place in legislation. I've heard that you've already seen some positive outcomes in terms of the implementation in some of these areas. Can you give us some more insight into that, Chancellor?
Thank you for the school question. This is our first year of a cell phone-free environment for all DC public schools. Last 2 years, we've had a phone-free environment for our middle schools. We've seen great results from that. We did focus groups, surveys, gathering feedback from both families, students, and our educators and staff, and overwhelmingly it's been positive and supportive of this. I had some focus group myself with some middle school students who said they were resistant at first, but they found themselves to be better connected with their peers, less distracted in the classroom. So we believe this is going to be a strong approach to ensure that our students continue to thrive. Our school leaders have been engaging with families and their school communities over the summer about their individual plans. And they've communicated with their families about what to expect first day. We'll be launching an effort in our central services team out in the schools to help them with logistics the first day. And it'll look different from campus to campus, but I think the important note is the majority of our schools have already had these practices in place, and this will be new for a portion of our schools and primarily for our high schools.
Just the reassurance to parents. I know that was the biggest concern, right? Parents are like, if there is an emergency, I want to get in touch with my kids. It was the ongoing debate that we heard time and time again. Just what you tell parents.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we've helped families understand that if there's an emergency, the last thing we want students to do is to be on their cell phone, right? We want them to be focused on the guidance and directions that they're receiving from adults in emergency situations. And so I believe that that's clear. We also have a history of responding to emergency situations with schools that are cell phone free. And I believe that muscle is strong, and we train staff on how to respond. And so families should know in emergency situations, we're going to up them with just-in-time information so they can respond accordingly. But we believe that students should be focused on directions from adults in emergency situations.
Mayor, can you drill down a little bit more on your meeting with Stephen Miller and Terrence Cole? Were there any agreements struck?
I've said all I'm going to say about that. I do want to ask the superintendent to talk a little bit more about school transportation.
Good morning, everyone. OSSE, the Office of the State Superintendent of Education, transports students with disabilities who are eligible for transportation to and from school every day. We have a parent portal that is available at parent.osse.dc.gov. Parents of students with disabilities who are eligible for transportation can go to this portal and make a selection. The first selection is telling us that you do not need transportation. The second selection is this parent stipend program, in which we will provide a stipend of $400 per month for parents to transport their children to school every day. And the third option is OSSE DOT transportation. If you have not yet signed up for this transportation and you have a child with a disability who is eligible for this transportation, please, once again, go to the parent portal at parent.osse.dc.gov and sign up. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So that is, if you haven't signed up, sign up. Don't rely on the school to sign you up. So sign up. If you want to elect to drive your eligible child to school instead of putting your child on the bus, there's an incentive program to do that as well. And you may tell us that we don't need transportation after all. Maybe we got it last year, we don't need it this year. Tell us that. That saves, you don't want to know how much the city saves by not sending a bus to a home where we don't need a ride. The final thing that I will say is a reminder to all families that your child has a Kids Ride Free card. Metro is also allowing the children to download the card to their phone. It is required to access the system, both the Metro rail system and the Metro bus system. So to parents, remind your children, do not jump the fare gate. Remind them they cannot follow behind their friends. They cannot go through the side gate. They need to tap. They can use their card. The cards that they had last year at school, they work throughout the month of September, and they can download the app to their phones. So with that, have a great school year, DC. Thank you.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.